Hello dear students, welcome to the third video of equilibrium chapter. In this video, I am going to explain you about ionic equilibrium. So what is this ionic equilibrium? If the equilibrium that exists in between the ions, then we can call it as ionic equilibrium. Okay, now so before that, if you consider an aqueous solution of sucrose or a sugar, what happens if you dissolve a sugar in a water, then the aqueous solution, then the solution of that sugar, it won't conduct any electricity. Or if you consider sodium chloride, okay, aqueous solution of sodium chloride or a common salt, it will it will definitely conduct an electricity. That means depending upon the movement of ions. Okay, so if you consider sodium chloride solution, there is a movement of Na plus Cl minus ion, H plus ion and OH minus ion. So that's why sodium chloride can conduct electricity easily. However, sugar solution, it won't undergo dissociation, so there will be no charge separation, therefore it do not conduct any electricity. Okay, so earlier the scientist named Michael Faraday, he was classified the substances into two categories based on their ability to conduct electricity, and they are called electrolytes, while the substances which do not conduct any electricity, they are termed as non-electrolytes. Okay, so under electrolytes, we have a strong electrolytes and weak electrolytes. Strong electrolytes on dissolution in water, it will undergo ionization completely. Okay, so for example, if you consider an example of HCl, when you dissolve HCl in a water, it will undergo complete dissociation. That means HCl, it will produce all its H plus ions and a Cl minus ion. So we can say that it is a strong electrolyte. Whereas weak electrolyte is a one, it is only partially dissociated. Okay, this is partially dissociated. So we can classify the electrolytes as strong electrolytes and as well as weak electrolytes. Okay. Now, in weak electrolytes, I already told it will undergo only partial dissociation. It will undergo only partial dissociation. So what happens? Only some of the molecules will be dissociated. So there is an equilibrium exists between the dissociated molecules and undissociated molecules. So these type of equilibrium, what we call it as ionic equilibrium. So acids, you're familiar with the acids, bases, salts. All these are come under the category of electrolytes. Okay, so now we will discuss acids, bases and salts and also their theories. Okay, now let us discuss Arrhenius' concept of acid and bases. According to the scientist Arrhenius, an acid is a substance when dissolved in a water, it should produce hydrogen ions, okay, H plus ions. So if you are considering HCl, if you dissolve HCl in water, it should produce H plus ion. That means if there is a formation of hydrogen ions, then it confirms that the given substance is Arrhenius acid. So HCl is an example for Arrhenius acid. What is Arrhenius base? It is also a substance. For example, NaOH. If you dissolve sodium hydroxide in a water, it should dissociate and should produce hydroxyl ion. See, hydroxyl ion, if it is formed, then it confirms the given substance is Arrhenius base. So this is about Arrhenius acid and base. Now let us discuss the second theory, that is Bronsted-Lowry theory of an acid and base. Okay, now let us consider one more theory, that is Bronsted-Lowry acids and bases. According to the scientist Bronsted and Lowry, an acid is a substance that is capable of donating H plus ion or a proton. Okay, so Bronsted-Lowry acid is a one that is capable of donating hydrogen ion or H plus. Okay. So acid capable of donating H plus ions, that is called acid, or a Bronsted-Lowry base is a one capable of accepting H plus ions. That is a difference between Arrhenius theory and Bronsted-Lowry theory. Now let us consider one example, HCl. See what happens if HCl undergo dissociation, or it will donate H plus ions. So we can call it as acid. HCl is an acid. Even we can call it as Arrhenius acid also. What is Arrhenius acid? When you dissolve it in water, if it produces H plus, then we can call it as Arrhenius acid. Okay, so here I am discussing about Bronsted acid. Bronsted acid is a one, it is capable of donating H plus. So here HCl is donating H plus ion. So we can say that HCl is also a Bronsted-Lowry acid. Okay, so it will donating H plus ion. And similarly, at the same time, it also dissociate to form Cl minus. So here Cl minus we can call it as it is a base, or I'll write conjugate base. What is a base? What is Lowry Bronsted base? Base is the one which capable of accepting H plus ion. See what happens if Cl minus if it accept H plus ions. Yes, there is a formation of HCl. So we can say that Cl minus is a conjugate base of HCl. So here HCl, it is a Bronsted-Lowry acid, and Cl minus is conjugate base. So now this pair, that is HCl and Cl minus, HCl and Cl minus, we can call it as it is conjugate acid base pair. Okay, what is conjugate acid base pair? It is a pair of, see, HCl and Cl minus. It is a pair of acid and a base that differ by a proton. There is a difference of one H plus ion. Therefore, we can call it as conjugate acid base pair. Clear? One more example. See, if you consider ammonia. Okay, ammonia, NH3. So I'll consider this is as a base. I'll consider ammonia as a Bronsted-Lowry base. So what is Bronsted-Lowry base? Base is the one capable of accepting H plus ion. So if it accepts any H plus ion, what happens? There is a formation of NH4 plus ion. Why it is so? Because in order to access a base, in order to give ammonia, in order to accept the proton, see, proton in the sense H plus, there is a electron deficiency. So what nitrogen, it has to give its electrons to H plus, then only it can accept H plus ion and to form NH4 plus ion. Okay, so now we can call this NH4 plus ion as an acid. That means Bronsted-Lowry acid. Okay, see, or I can write conjugate acid. Conjugate acid. So what is acid? Bronsted acid. Acid is the one capable of donating H plus. See, if NH4 plus, if it donates one H plus, then automatically it is getting converting into NH3. So that means NH3 and NH4 plus, we can say that it is a conjugate. Okay, conjugate acid base pair. This is theory is very important. So what is Bronsted acid? It is a one capable of donating H plus. And what is Bronsted-Lowry base? It is a one capable of accepting H plus ion. And you should know, you are in a position to identify the acid, conjugate acid as well as a conjugate base. Okay, and the conjugate acid base pair. See, I'll consider one more example. Now I'll give one example. Let us write you may get a same type of questions even in the entrance examinations. See, let us write the conjugate acids of what they have asking, conjugate acids of HSO4 minus, CO3 2 minus, and water. Let us write the conjugate acids of these species. So in order to write the conjugate acid, consider this as a base. What type of base? Bronsted-Lowry base. Okay, so they are asking to write the conjugate acids means these are all bases, right? So what is Bronsted base? Bronsted base is a one which is capable of accepting H plus ion, isn't it? So base is a substance capable of accepting ion. So I'll write HSO4 minus. We need to write the conjugate acid. That means this is a Bronsted base. Okay, Bronsted base. See, Bronsted base is the one which is capable of accepting. It has to accept H plus ion. It has to accept H plus ion. See, already what the one is hydrogen is there and one minus charge is there. So if it accept H plus ion, minus plus charge gets neutralized and the produced species is H2SO4. That means H2SO4 is a conjugate acid of HSO4 minus. That is a first one. Next, second one, they have given carbonate ion CO3 2 minus. You have to write the conjugate acid. That means this is a Bronsted base. Okay, so what is Bronsted base? Bronsted base is the one which is capable of accepting H plus. It has to accept H plus ion. See here properly. If it accept H plus ion, already there is a two negative charges. So one positive charge, if it is introduced, one negative charge, it will neutralize the one positive charge. Therefore, the remaining is, what is the species formed? HCO3 minus. I'll write only one minus because we have introduced H plus. So here 1 plus 1, it is neutralized with the minus 1. So the remaining one is HCO3 minus 1. So this is conjugate acid of carbonate ion. Okay. So now let us consider third one, H2O. If it is H2O, you have to write the conjugate acid. So this is a base. So what is Bronsted base? Bronsted base is the one, it has to accept H plus ion. So here, in order to receive H plus ion, since H plus is having electron deficiency, oxygen possesses lone pair of electrons. It has to donate its electrons to H plus and then only it can accept H plus. So if it accepts H plus ions, there will be 3 hydrogen and oxygen and also positive charge on oxygen you have to write because here oxygen has donated the electron. So this is the conjugate acid of a base, H2O, conjugate acid. Now let us write the conjugate bases of the following species. Okay, I'll write the conjugate bases of let us write the conjugate basis of water, then bicarbonate ion HCO3 minus and H2SO4. Okay, so write the conjugate bases. So they are asked to write the conjugate base means this is Bronsted acid, isn't it? So what is Bronsted acid? Bronsted acid is the one capable of donating H plus ion. It has to donate H plus. It has to remove H plus ion. See, in case of water, this is actual structure. It has to lose H plus ions. So what happens? Like this. So these electrons are shifted to oxygen. Therefore, OH minus. OH minus is a conjugate base of water. This is the first example. The second species they have given carbonate ion, that is bicarbonate ion. So conjugate, we need to write the conjugate base. So this is acid. So what is an acid? Acid is a substance capable of donating H plus. It has to donate H plus. See, already one minus charge is there. So if it has to lose one H plus, then H is goes in the form of H plus. So the one electron is remaining, isn't it? So the charge becomes, if it loses one proton H plus, what you had write CO3, already one minus charge is there. See, one H plus is going, so one minus charge we need to add. So this obtained species is CO3 2 minus. So this is a conjugate base of bicarbonate ion. Next is third one, H2SO4. Okay, so H2SO4, it has to lose because they're asking to calculate the conjugate base. So this is an acid. Acid is the one which loses H plus ion, which has to remove H plus ion. Okay, so what happens? H1 hydrogen is still remaining, one positive charge has gone, so one negative charge is remaining. So this is the conjugate base of H2SO4. Okay, see, now you can see these is two species, they are conjugate acid base pair. So what is an acid base pair? It is an acid and a base that differ by one proton. So H2SO4 and HSO4 minus, there is a difference of one H plus ion, one proton. Similarly, in case of HCO3 minus and CO3 minus, there is a difference of one proton. So it is an conjugate acid base pair. And if you consider water, H2O and OH minus, there is also still the difference of one H plus ion. So this is conjugate acid base pair. One more theory, that is Lewis acid base theory. Okay, so according to the scientist Lewis, an acid is a substance which accepts a pair of electrons, and Lewis base is the one which donates a pair of electrons. Okay, so acid is a substance which accepts the electron pair, and base is a substance which donates an electron pairs. Okay, if you consider the reaction boron trifluoride and ammonia. Okay, ammonia, see, in boron trifluoride, boron is a central atom. Okay, and around the central atom boron there is only presence of 1 2 3 4 5 6, so it has a less than 8 electrons. That means octet rule is not obeyed here, therefore it is having electron deficiency, so it can accept the electrons from ammonia, because in ammonia nitrogen is possess lone pair of electrons. So these electrons are accepted by boron of boron trifluoride, and so this is Lewis acid. Lewis acid is the one which accept pair of electrons, and Lewis base is the one which donates a pair of electrons. So boron trifluoride is an example for an acid, and ammonia is an example for a Lewis base. So I'll write one more example, OH minus. So OH minus hydroxyl ion, it is a Lewis base. Okay, because of the presence of excess electrons, it can donate its electron pair. So this is a Lewis base. And if you consider fluoride F minus, this is also a Lewis base. Due to the excess of electrons in it, it can donate its electrons. And H plus ion, this is Lewis acid, because in H plus there is a deficiency of electrons, no electrons are there, so it can accept the electrons. One thing you remember, in order to accept the electron, it should have a vacancy. So H plus ion acts as a Lewis acid, it accepts the electrons. And if you consider boron trichloride, it is also Lewis acid. Lewis acid, it can accept the lone pair of electrons from a species like ammonia and amine molecules. So this is about Lewis acids and bases.